And I had picked it up, read it, and there were two things that really enticed me to research further, and that was when he said, you can have anything you want, provided you know what it is.
Hey, ¿qué tal? Y bienvenidos de nuevo a Domina tu Mente. En el video de hoy veremos a la señora Helena Hatzel contarnos cómo fue que inició su viaje de manifestaciones conscientes, gracias a unas palabras que leyó en un libro de Vincent Norman Peale. Y la verdad es que es muy suave y motivador ver a esta agradable señora contarnos con lujo de detalles los procesos por los cuales pasó para conseguir cada uno de los objetivos que ella se proponía. Así que espero que lo disfrutes.
Started with contesting?
Yes. Norman Vincent Peale had the book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I had picked it up, read it, and there were two things that really enticed me to research further, and that was when he said, you can have anything you want, provided you know what it is. See yourself as already having it. And those were three things that intrigued me. And I was, just a little happy homemaker, no education, high school education, period. And the mother of three and sitting home and needing a lot of little creature comfort things, And so I thought, well, that sounds exciting. So that night, my husband got in and I said, I read this book. And I said, what would you like? And he was reading the Dallas Morning News. And he said, well, looky here, Coca-Cola has a contest. And you can win an outboard motor. All you have to do is write 25 words while you take Coca-Cola on outings. And I said, and then outboard motor. And then he went on and finished reading his paper. Well, I went into the bedroom, and he's won an outboard motor. So I sit there, and I thought, Coca-Cola on outings, a pad. And I thought, we don't even drink Cokes. That's going to be a tough one. But I saw him sitting in a boat with his motor, enjoying himself. And so I wrote, he liked to go fishing by himself on weekends because he had a very serious job. And he was always stretched out, and the kids were too young to take him fishing at that point. And so he'd go out for the afternoon. Okay, so now I'm sitting there, and I see him in this boat, and I write, I'm a lone wolf fisherman. Cokes are my silent partners. They contribute no yakety yak, only enjoyment when called upon. 25 words. Put it in an envelope, mailed it off, and actually said to him, I wonder how long it's going to take him to let us know we won. Now, that's positive thinking. I didn't know any better. I just knew I wrote that incident, he's got to win it. 2 weeks later, the representative from Coca-Cola called and said, Mr. Hatzel, you won your outboard motor. I thought, well, that's nice. Now, what would we like to win? See, now what would we like to win? And my daughter said, well, I'd like to swim bicycle. And I said, and you want what color? I thought, well, everybody should do this because selected, here it is, see yourself as having it. So we had her sitting on a bicycle. And it was, now, at that point in time, there were many, many opportunities for contests. And most of them, see, a contest is when you have to complete something in 25 words or less, name something, write an essay. A sweepstake is when they just put your name in the pot and they draw, from 1 million entries, they draw your name. I didn't think of that as competition. I always thought the only competition you ever have is with yourself. And that's when you doubt yourself. So now, my daughter, we had to name a pony, and it got to be, now this was a fun thing. And my son, I mean, we didn't look for big things. Roller skates, bicycles, and things that were that children wanted. Boom boxes, for music and stuff. And so we started. We would sit at night, and I says, "Oh, we're going to get Pamela her bicycle, and we have to name a pony. How are we going to name a pony?" And I show them a picture of a pony, and they said, "Well, he's brown." And I said, "Yeah, he's brown. And what else? And what else does he do?" "Well," I said, "does he prance?" And then we call him Prance Charming. Prance Charming. And you get on a pony. What else? He bucks. He buck too. Prance Charming. And these were what we call coined words. And that's what we send in. I don't know which entry won, but she had her swing bicycle. Okay? So then we got all the little stuff. Now I want linoleum for the floor, and I get linoleum. Then I want something else, and I get it. Now I'm thinking bigger. Now I want to win trips. And my younger son said, "Oh, let's go to a dude ranch." Do you know, we won this trip to a dude ranch, and stupid me, this was in Arizona, and that's when I was afraid of flying. And I won the prize. They're going to fly, and I said, "I don't fly. Can we drive down?" And then I didn't get the prize because you had to follow their rules. And so he was very, very ticked about that. You have to learn to fly. You have to learn to fly. Well, now, the next thing I wanted, the children wanted to go to Disneyland. And that meant flying, too. And I thought, well, I'll just brave it out. Really and truly, I was stupid on that area. But at that time, I didn't know better. And so we get to won this trip to Disneyland. We all get there. And it was a fabulous, fabulous trip. And later on, we did win a trip to Dude Ranch, and we did go to the Dude Ranch, and then we went a trip to the World's Fair. Did go to the World's Fair, and one thing that was real funny, I was going to be 40 years old, and I had read that Paris is a city of light, love, and excitement, and I wanted to be on the 1st of January. I said, "What are we going to do this year?" And Pat said, "Well," I said, "I want to be in Paris, France, sitting at a sidewalk cafe, drinking wine on my 40th birthday." And I started to enter contests, only contests that were offering trips. And there were many of them. There was a lot of trips always contesting. Always 25 words or less. And I always used the same 25 words. I said, "I'm a pooped couple with 3 kiddos, and I'd like to go to Paris, France, to recapture the rapture of springtime ecstasy in my fat, 40 frustrated years." That's the only thing I wrote. Well, the first time, one company investigates, before you win a big prize, you're investigated, they call you or they come out, interview you, and they do that to find out if you are any way related to the sponsors, any way related, because contesting are really on the up and up. And if they wouldn't be, I mean, it wouldn't serve any purpose. So I had the interview, and everything went fine, but I only won 3rd prize, which is a Hammond electric organ, and it didn't win that prize. And I said, "Well, why did they give me an electric organ?" And somebody said, "To cultivate patience." So I have this big electric Hammond organ, and here it is now. My birthday's the 1st of June, and here it is April already, and I still haven't had this trip now. We're going to have to plan this trip. We're going to be there. drinking wine, and my husband even said, well, we have enough money. I said, no, I want to win this with a trip. Well, it seemed like the last minute. I send that entry off, and lo and behold, I got a phone call and said, Mr. Hatzel, I used his name and and my name, you won a trip to Venice, Italy. And I thought, well, I don't want to, I've been to Venice, I want to go to Paris. And the man said, well, you can change, you're first class and you can change whatever you want to do. And he said, when would you like the tickets? I said, like right now. And he had a messenger come and bring these tickets. And we got on the plane, and to make a long story short, on my 40th birthday, I was at that sidewalk with my husband,